By putting this bill out there, Rand Paul can help frame the debate and bring a real solution to the table. Something that wouldn't force the Fed to change a single thing, only make them compete on the market like the producer of other good and service. Boom, there you go. That goes back to our morning REMA session. Competition is what allows it to happen. Competition is what allows things to go forward and to prevent monopolies, right? In the Jamal and Lourdes case, if Jamal is just going after Lourdes simply because of hierarchy, that's wrong. Then it's better that Jamal creates a competing ministry. You see, that's better. And that's what he meant. That's what Kuk Jung was saying when he said, keep your guns pointed outwards. Keep your guns pointed outwards. He's not saying, shut up about it and don't say nothing. No, that's not what he's saying. He's saying, keep your guns pointed outward. If you're so good at doing ministry, then you do it yourself. Of course, Jamal is also our youth pastor. I mean, he has tremendous skills in ministry, tremendous leader in terms of educating young people and opposite sex education, and did an excellent job with Gideon in the DP road trip. I mean, in fact, Jamal is incredibly capable. Okay. And of course, the case with him and Lourdes is pursuing forward. But if they continue to escalate, well, then it may be better for them to just do a different ministry and then not be a part of these organizations, etc. Because actually Jamal is part of the organization. So then if he's doing it just for if that's sake, if that's the argument putting forward, I don't know if it is, but then people will start attacking him, bring cases against him because he's actually part of the organization, because he's actually in charge of the Sunday school. You see what I'm saying? So then it becomes, he's going to end up getting bit by his own thing. And of course, we don't want that to happen because he is definitely used by God, just as Lourdes is used by God. Okay? And this is the way you deal with the Fed. And Ron Paul are completely right. Okay, Fed, you don't want to change anything, you don't have to change anything. But let us give you competition currencies. Let us have people be able to trade in cryptocurrencies without being taxed. Let us people be able to trade with gold and silver without being taxed, so you don't have a fair advantage. Let's introduce competition to the Fed. Of course, like I said, 1 billion times, Chinese culture and even the king and sanctuary allow for competition. You believe you can create a better organization that will be upholding Chinese, the Constitution, and at the same time are supporting the king, you can still receive a sanctuary independent church. And members are not prohibited from going to your church. But they will determine whether or not they will go there based on your behavior and actions, which you cannot blame other people for. People will choose to participate in your ministry or not by your behavior as the leader there. Remember, you can attack hierarchy all you want. As soon as you hire one staff secretary, you've already created hierarchy. As soon as you created a board with a head of the board, whoops, you've created hierarchy. So I don't believe Jamal and Robert and those guys on that team, on that side, are against hierarchy per se. I mean, Robert has been saying from the very beginning, he's been saying, I do not want Lourdes fired. The king has a right to hire whoever he wants. Actually, Robert's been saying that. He made that very clear at the table the other day. And Jamal has told me himself that he doesn't want Lourdes fired, even though Lourdes sometimes says they want her fired. They've told me directly they don't want her fired. So anyways, there's so much wackiness around it, but that's why this case will proceed. Okay? But when it's done, it's done. And Jamal also agreed he will be, when it's done, he's 100%. He's 100%. He will follow along with the ruling. He's just happy that there's actually some due process. And that he doesn't want Lourdes to be fired, but he just wants an apology. Because she doesn't take no for an answer. But that's how Lourdes, works with VIPs. I told Jamal, well, she treats you like a VIP. Because just because you say no doesn't mean it's a no tomorrow. But of course, he doesn't like the fact that some of his family members were contacted or something like that. That, he has a valid point, okay, if that was the case. Anyways, the point is, those are Tanzanian issues. There's a case on the ground, and that thing will be led not by the king. There's a judge that will be appointed there. In the image form, this is not a legal court, image form of Chanigu, respecting due process. Okay? And when it's done, everybody can finally say it's done and be done with this childish stuff, wasting so much time and energy on this ridiculousness. Okay? But again, that gets back to the article. The problem in Chanigo is not hierarchy. The problem is competition. Chanigo Constitution protects competition. It doesn't prohibit hierarchy. Hierarchy is not the archangelic thing. Trying to get rid of competition, that's the archangelic thing. Hierarchy itself is not the archangelic thing. It's the prohibition of competition that leads to monopoly, which is the archangelic thing. That's why centralists and the globalists are archangels. That's why the Pope and what is it? And these globalist organizations, the Bilderberg, these are archangelic organizations, because it's not that they're because they're hierarchical. It's because they want to destroy all competition. If they said, no, fine, we love competition. We love for everybody to compete against us. We love to allow different currencies to be played through the Federal Reserve approves that, all that. That's fine. Then that would be great. They'd just be a bank. Although they get unfair trading. And in China, they would not be able to have that kind of unfair status. But that would be a huge step in the right direction for America if we allowed for other currencies not to be taxed. And of course, getting rid of the Fed is the best way. And the Chinese Constitution will not allow a centralized American bank, so to speak, or a Chinese bank, centralized Chinese bank. Which does what? Concentrates power and creates a monopoly. That is the danger. That is the danger of archangelism. It is the monopolistic thinking, not the hierarchical thinking, the monopolistic thinking that is the archangel. It was he who wanted to monopolize Eve. He wanted to monopolize the children of God. He wanted to monopolize the power God gave them, an inheritance. He wanted to monopolize those things. He did not want to allow for them to compete with him or to inherit what their father gave him, and allow them to create an environment where their children could also have competition for the glory of the Father.